Let's take a look at Scarborough Fair and how we can play it. Now this arrangement was, originally I got this from, it was a person playing it called Ulf Brockstein from Sweden, and I'm sure you can find him still on YouTube. This whole arrangement is kind of very haunting, you know, and I'll show you the reason why that is. You're only playing single notes for the most part. It's kind of a fingerstyle arrangement, but it's just if you let the strings ring, then you have certain chords that are that you hear that give it this kind of special effect. I'm going to go through this measure by measure. The first measure goes like this. Now, incidentally, the reason I'm doing this today is because I was working on some publication that I was going to put out, and I just came across this, and I didn't realize even that I had had transcribed this a number of years back, and luckily I still have a copy of it. So here's how it goes. The first measure. So that first measure, what you have to try to do here is have that melody note stand out. That's the first thing. The first string is kind of a light string, so it's, in a sense, you have to put a little bit more effort into making that stand out. So when you play, you got the bass note there, the fifth string, the A. So you want to try and have those two notes, those first two notes, not so loud, and you want to hit that one as so those first two notes there are like that. Now you could, one technique you could use if you're playing fingerstyle, you could do a rest stroke, and that will allow you to press down nice and strong. So to make that stand out, since you're starting this piece and you want to start out and make sure it attracts attention. Now the interesting thing is about this, you have these harmonics going on, and this is so if you leave the strings open, then you can hear those harmonics going on. Right? So that's the first measure. The second measure is kind of my favorite, and this starts out so really this video is not about what notes to play, but it's about how you play the notes. I'll put this sheet available on the website with the link down below. And incidentally, don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Now, in this second part, we're starting out. We're starting out with this chord, which is actually an A minor chord. But then, because you're adding that open B string there, it makes it into an A minor add 9, and then when you hit the other melody note, you're actually playing the 7th there, so it actually becomes an A minor 7th. So when you play that, you want to be careful not to stop some of the strings. Now, it will be very easy for one of the fingers to stop that second string. So this is all about letting those strings ring. This next measure is really all about the dynamics here. Now, this is where you want to use a little bit of rubato, because you've just played those first two measures, and then you can take a pause, just take your time, get your fingers ready, and this part of it is, I feel it's like you can think of this like a wave. You're starting like, So you want to have that kind of effect when you play. So basically you got two fingers held down. Right, so you start nice and soft. With a guitar doesn't have much of a dynamic range, at least an acoustic guitar. So you got to take advantage of that. It's almost like a whisper, sounding like a whisper. If I can do this correctly. Now this next measure also, I think you want the same kind of a wave. Something like that. Now you can also use some of the technique, I don't even know what you call it, where you're playing in different parts, on different parts of the string. You know, like where you get this. So as you move toward the bridge, then you get a more bright sound. So you can. So those first four measures were actually the introduction, and now we're getting into the actual melody, which is which you'll recognize. Right, something like that, right? So when you play this, you want to make sure that now I'm playing this fourth string. And that should really stand out. It should have a nice volume without making it sound too harsh. So you're going to make sure you hold that down nice and firm, and get a good get your thumb behind that one, just with the right amount of pressure with the right hand. So. And then the next measure goes, the hammer-on is between strings 2, 3, and 4, and you're hammering on strings 2 and string 4 on the first fret and the third fret. And you want to be careful just there not to disturb that ringing string in between the two strings that you're hammering onto. So again, you got this a nice haunting sound. So again, you want to keep those strings ringing without disturbing the open strings. That's really what's going to make the difference. Let's continue on. So we just did this measure where we have the hammer-ons. And after that, in the same measure, we've got this. Right, we got that nice ringing chord, and then right after it, we've got. Now here is where you have to be able to keep things going, because you've got this. That measure is filled with 16th notes, so you've got to be able to keep that going. What I do there is I'm using these two fingers, second and third finger. That leaves this first finger able to play that B, and then the C. Right? And then that would take us up to the next measure where we go. Then we have another one of these haunting, and it continues. So then we're going into, which basically going from a C chord to a D chord. So we're playing this. And then we're back again with this. Another way you can think of this is perhaps like, you know those chimes, those bells that kind of go in the wind. So now I'm actually moving my hand here. I'm starting out over here a little bit more with a little bit more nasal sound. So that you get that contrast. Now following this, what we've got here is, I think the way I wrote this is a little bit different to the way I remember playing it. So this, I may have written this first and then kind of changed it a little bit as I was practicing it. But this is, so this is like it's an A minor chord played across 4 strings. And then we're moving into this, just the open C chord position. And of course, you want to keep making sure that you've got the melody ringing out. So here you can put those you kind of get the idea with the hammer-ons. And here you've got the melody going on, but you've also got the other part of the accompaniment. So you want to make sure you've got this. So the first A there is actually part of the melody. So I'm playing another A, but I'm making it more obvious that and here we've got the same. That's the end of a verse. The recording, I think I went through several times. You could extend this, and you could even take this and repeat it. So I hope those tips are useful. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like if you like it. As always from me, stay tuned and look forward to seeing you soon.